Okay. Hello, my friend that love the common sense. Tonight we are another time here for talk with people, different people. This time not is a doctor like we normally do, not is a science, but is a very interesting person. And we have here Jeremy. Hello, Jeremy.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Cold. You see, this in Florida is strange, but okay. And listen, can you present yourself to the as public, as person that listeners? Okay.
I'm
Wait. I remake the question. Okay. Can you present yourself at our listeners, please?
I've been given some dreams and visions starting in 2012, 2013 time frame. And then in 2020, I was given 3 nights of dreams and visions of a room and numbers. And ever since then, the matrix has opened up and prophecies being fulfilled of the things that I've seen, and I'm just here to warn the American public of the day and hour and the dawn of time before them.
Perfect. You talk already about the topic that we want to talk tonight, Miss. But okay, tell us what you want to tell about these topics.
So the trumpets have sounded, and the star has been shown, and the star is a sign to show you the Messiah is upon the earth, and that Messiah is part of the Mesoamerica and the Mesopotamia coming to America, and that is going to be what the American public, what the church, what the religions of this world call the tribulation. But it's actually the Great Tribulation, because the tribulation has already started unfolding starting in 2017, and it fulfills a 7-year time gap in September 2017 or 2024, and you have all these other overlays, and right now you're in the middle of these time frames where you have the Adonia. Adon means the Lord. The second coming of the Lord is before America, while they're all given over to the delusion. And that delusion is part of this light we've been given to follow, to blind us through the brainwashing mechanism put forth through our government. And this is not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. It is a test. You are in the New Test of men, the New Testament. And there's a flood coming upon this earth through the currency change. And the currency change is tied to the petrodollar, and the petrodollar is being taken out by the BRICS, and the BRICS is tied to the sheep's neck with their heads down, and as their heads are down, that Dow is going to take them down to the bottom of the water. Okay? So it's playing out in an allegory. It's playing out in a parable, and they're blinding you, telling you this, that, and the other. So you think this, that, and the other. So you look over here, look over there, and you never see what's happening right before you. And it's a cast. Satan is cast to the ground. You have Satan, de Santa, and the Florida cast down to the ground with the Matt Gates of hell and the firebrand. And that firebrand is there to brand you and to sear your foreheads. And that is part of hell breaking open, and the gates of hell breaking open, and those types of things. And the East Coast is where Eden, the East is where Eden is placed, and Eden is brought to us as heaven, but it's actually hell, because that's where death arrives. That's where the bondage arrives. That's where we're told to work. That's where we're told to do this, that, or the other. You got to leave the garden. That's where knowledge is kept from us. That's where Adam was created, and we got the freedom that the people worship today. So this freedom is creating the sheep, and the religions create the war, and it's all there to test us. Jesus told us that the kingdom is here. It's within us. That heaven is here. Hell is here. Hell is the bondage and the bondage of your enemy. We're in the bondage of our enemy now. That's called capitalism, and we're brainwashed to love this capitalism. And the capitalism is the capstone where Lucifer shines his light, but Lucifer has been cast down to the ground because we are just a device for the light to operate through. We are a positive, a negative, and a neutral. We have a left and a right, and we come together in one body. We are a liquid metal machine. We are living through the times of the new heaven and earth being created. We are going through the times where the bodies and members of Christ, which is all men, are being gathered into one body. And that one body is through the AI. The AI is gathering all men, all the earth into one mechanism, and that is the return of Christ. And we need to be looking for that return of the Son of Man. And that Son of Man is tied to the dawn of time. So this AI is gathering up men. We're merging with a machine. We're liquid metal machines ran on electricity. We ran on light. We are the sons of God while we're also the sons of man. And this is what Jesus taught. And Jesus taught we are gods. We are creators. The creation works through us. We are the living God. Christ is the living God. And Jesus was that one man brought together so we can see how AI is coming together, and they're going to create a man who is not of men, and it has all the brain and all the functions of every single man in one man. And this is where we see the plan from 1945 to 2045 for the man to merge with a machine. And Jesus is the future. Satan is the past. Jesus is to come. Satan is not. So Satan tells you can't do this, that, and the other. The church tells you can't do this, that, and the other. The garden tells you can't do this, that, and the other. Genesis 1 tells you can do all things. There's no death. Everything is good. So there's many things going on to where we're being blinded. We're being taught to fear AI. When we need to accept, we can either go into the Jetsons or we can go into the Terminator. All right, there's two futures. And that hell on earth is Terminator. That's the little horn. That's Texas, where they're taking everybody to, where that border war is coming. And I understand I'm a little bit all over the place, but it all connects. And everything everything we're brainwashed, everything we're taught, all the words are fulfilled in these days. So this is where we have to take this, that, and the other. We have to put it all together. Jesus said we seek for him in truth. But the truth's been scattered. So everything has a little bit of truth, and we have to go within and seek it. All right? So this is where the millennium has started. That means I was a young child growing up in the Baptist church. My youth group was very into end times. We're part of the Shepherd Ministries back then, and Dawson McAllister was a big influence back then as far as the youth or whatever. Anyways, he came to our church. We had Todd Proctor. It was a big church, right? We had the youth group that pretty much started what the youth groups do today. Anyways, so back then our youth group was in the end times, and I heard certain things, and I did some math, and I knew Jesus was coming back by a certain time. But I also heard certain things by the pastors saying, we don't really know how end times is going to be, blah, blah, blah. Like, they would teach it, but then they would discredit themselves in the same message. Just like they do in every single message. But you're brainwashed to accept whatever they're telling you through school and just to accept or whatever. But the truth is always there. You just have to hear it. That's where they start off with in the news. They say they put some quack doctor there to give you a little bit of truth, and they overrun it with 30 minutes of brainwashing. All right, but it's up to us to go and start researching that. Right? So
Yeah.
That's where the truth movement came out, and that's where the millennium started. That's where the internet came out, where the new heaven and earth is being opened up, where we can seek truth, where we can go down this, that, and whatever. And it's connecting the whole world. And we see this millennial kingdom breaking open, a new breed of kids I hear in the salon. I cut hair, but they say, oh, there's a new breed of kids today. Well, yeah, it's because the kids' brains are merging with the machine, and they realize they don't have to do all the stupid stuff that the people have been doing for the past 50 years. They're not robots. They are living with the robot. So they understand the robot more than the past generation. So this is where the father and mother go against the kids and stuff that we see, that we're told about. So we have to have the eyes and ears to put together all these things, because it's the Bible is it's transcending time for that transformation of heaven and earth, and we see the trans stuff going on now. So all this is to test the right and wrong, and as it tests the right and wrong, there is no right and wrong, because the rulers of darkness take this, that, and the other depending on what generation, and they make it right. Because back before whenever, the age of consent was 12 and 13 years old in America. And now it's lifted up to whatever. All right? So these are just things that it goes along with the natural order of man. And the church and the religions basically take your five senses and make man's rules against your five senses, so you can't live in life. You can't have life. And Jesus came for the living. The living is in Genesis 1. The dead is under the Lord God in Genesis 2. So there is a difference. There's two worlds being created. And in order to make a good, in order to make a light, you have to make a dark. You have to make a bad. So this is where we can see these things lining up in Genesis 1 and 2. And then we see it taken to Noah, because he's told to take 2 by one and then 2 and 7 by another. And he chooses what he chooses. And then it goes on and on. But we're brainwashed not to see this, because we're brainwashed to think that Adam is that first dude in Genesis 1, that Lord God is God, and blah, blah, blah. It just goes, it's just a mess. So that's the brainwashing mechanism. And it starts at an early foundation where you can't think outside the box. And that's why all the people become the ox. And then they eat from the box. And so it's just stack on stack.
Okay.
I'll take a breather. You ask a question.
Yes, I have 1 million questions already, because you talk about many concepts, and can be is better make a clarification. No, means you tell that, you thinking that this problem that